I have so many questions. The first one is a personal one. I adore my father, and he hasn't spoken to me in about 8 years. And I guess I just want your reassurance that he knows that I adore him, and I believe that he adores me as well. He's just kind of an ornery toad.
Well, deep down he knows. And do you care? In other words, in your love for him, you are in connection. So is it really any of your business how he feels about you?
That's a good point.
Because for you to really love someone, you can't factor in their response.
Exactly. That's what you just said.
So how does that feel? It's none of my business how you feel about me. And he's making it easy. He doesn't talk to you.
I know. I'm grateful.
So since he's not talking to you, why do you assume that in his absence he doesn't love you? In his absence, that may be the deepest love of all. He may be really wanting to free you to your own experience. Mm. What was if you want to tell us, what was the content of your last conversation?
Well, actually, he said that he didn't love me and that he wasn't interested in having a relationship with me.
And what had you said to him before that?
I told him that that I did love him and that I wanted to continue to have a relationship with him.
And what kind of relationship had you had with him up to that conversation?
Troubled. I mean, somewhat difficult, but I always feel that there are some wonderful places of points of connection that we share. And I still do, actually.
And what do you think the role of a parent is?
Well, it's interesting in listening to you recently, because my father said to me many years ago that what he wanted to give me and my brother was to just to leave us alone, because that was the thing that he wanted the most for himself. And so he did do that.
So he came from an environment where he felt stifled.
Yes.
Where he was not allowed to have his own thought or become his own person. And then he spent much of his life resenting those who had thwarted his path. And in all of that exposure to all of that experience, he set off rockets of desires that said, I want to be an avenue of life for my children, but I do not want to thwart their path. Do you think that would come from a place of loving or not loving, a statement like that?
I'd say it'd be loving.
We would say so too.
Yes.
And then, confronted by someone who is not able to understand that love, but sure that you've made the right decision, what do you think you might say to that person to force them to allow themselves the separation?
Get lost. In a way. I mean, in a way, that's what he did do.
And do you think those words came from love or from a place of not love? Maybe from the deepest love of all.
Well, certainly I've received a great deal.
We think it would be nice if this man could come into vibrational alignment with who he really is and understand that he can be in a relationship and still be free. Most people don't know that, however, and he does not know it yet. Mm-hmm. So as you continue to honor his wish, but to love him anyway, as you are already doing long before you sat in this chair, mm-hmm. what will happen is you will weave a web of love that sort of extends from you to him. In other words, you will achieve a vibrational relationship, and law of attraction will watch for opportunities on thought waves and dream waves to awaken within him his personal understanding that you get him. You could, if you have access to his address, reach a place of clarity, even as you are here, where you could drop him a note that says, I am appreciating so much the distance that you have allowed both me and you. And I believe with this magnificent gift that you have given me, O wise Father of mine, that I have found the freedom that you were always looking for. A freedom that is experienced by very few. Someday, if you wish, I will express to you the components of this freedom that I have discovered. But I credit you with it. And this letter is to thank you for the magnificent life that you have afforded me by giving me your biological self. And then you afforded me by giving me your spiritual self. You, Father, from my perspective, are the perfect Father.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.